The Pittsburgh Steelers have many options and many holes to fill throughout this free agency period heading into the 2024 NFL Draft. And just where will they go? And exactly what do we think the Steelers' plans are moving into this period? Welcome back to Mic Drop Sports, everybody. I'm Jason. Sorry about missing yesterday's upload. Some medical stuff going on, but we'll work through that. And hopefully things just continue to improve as they did. But we are back today, and we will be back tonight with our live show for Steel City Live here on Mic Drop Sports. But let's dive in to exactly what I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are aiming to do here in 2024, especially heading toward that March 11th tampering period to kick off free agency, and where the Steelers possibly might look to fill some of these holes. One being inside linebacker. I still think that is a priority inside of the free agency period. Also, we do know Mason Rudolph will be a target also, so we'll exclude that. Besides the quarterback, besides filling out the quarterback room, let's talk about really what I think they're really going to aim for and where they're really going to head once that March 11th time period kicks off. I think inside linebacker is going to be one of the huge issues and concerns for the Pittsburgh Steelers and where they're really going to try to find somebody. And I also think cornerback could be one of those positions also to where they try to fill and find a match for young star Joey Porter Jr. I think that they could possibly get that veteran presence in there because even if they draft one, guys, you know the Pittsburgh Steelers even made Joey Porter Jr. sit for a little bit to start the season. So they're not comfortable in just throwing a rookie right out there to the fire. So you know they're going to go out and find some sort of veteran presence to insert at that cornerback position. Yes, there is still guys like Patrick Peterson, Rush, all those guys that are still associated with the Pittsburgh Steelers, but I still look for the Steelers to go out and be heavy players inside of that cornerback market, and I still look for them to be heavy players inside of that inside linebacker room. That's where I think that those are the two most pressing issues. I also think they're going to try to dabble in finding that third wide receiver. And I also think they're going to try to attack that in the draft too. I think in the mid to late rounds, you're going to see a wide receiver taken by the Pittsburgh Steelers, regardless of what they do in free agency. But I think wholeheartedly they really want to find a solid slot number 3 receiver, because I really am wholeheartedly thinking they're going to let go Allen Robinson, who holds a significant cap hit in 2024. But if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, you have holes. You have a hole at right tackle. You have a hole at center, inside linebacker, slot receiver, cornerback, maybe getting a safety. Those types of holes are significant, and you need to fill them, and you need to fill them quickly before players are gobbled up. So, when this free agency period kicks off, I really truly think that Mason Rudolph has to be their number one pressing concern, which I already think that they have expressed what they want to do to Mason, I think, or with Mason business-wise, and I think Mason kind of knows where that's going to go. So that allows the Steelers to turn their attention to more pressing issues, and I believe that they are really going to be hot and heavy on that inside linebacker, corner, and slot receiver. I think that is where their focus is going to be 1,000% as March 11th kicks off. And I think they will have a target or couple targets for all those positions that I just mentioned to go after those guys. And I think that will be their most pressing issues. And if you get a guy that's a veteran for that inside linebacker room, couple him with a Landon Roberts, you see what happens maybe with Cole Holcomb if he's able to return for such a devastating injury that he suffered in 2023. Maybe possibly Quan Alexander coming back super cheap to add some depth. He was having a quality season until he suffered a significant injury. So there are options there. There are options that are familiar to the Steelers inside of that free agent market with guys like Quan Alexander. But there are some bigger names out there that you could possibly go get. I don't look for them to land anybody like a Patrick Queen or anything like that. And two, guys, if players aren't tagged by now on other teams, they're going to be available in free agency. Guys that are franchise tagged, they would cost a significant amount of money to get, and that wouldn't be an option for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So That's where we're really looking here, guys. There are going to be some big names, and I don't foresee the Steelers going out and trying to crush a big name inside of that or in the free agency market with the inside linebacker room. I don't think that that's where they're going to really try to spend big name money. I think they're really going to maybe try to do that in a cornerback room. Maybe they can go out and get a guy that's a $6-7 million a year guy on the cornerback spot, to where you have a real veteran depth piece there that is still in quality parts of their career, to where they're going to be able to be major contributors alongside Joey Porter Jr. You go out in the draft, you draft a young guy to get in there with a young Corey Trice, a rush, and I think then you would have a really good in our cornerback room, to where you don't have to worry if somebody has a nagging injury. You can sit them down and possibly bring in one of the younger stars that are up-and-coming stars, hopefully, into that position. I've seen some of the mock drafts having the Steelers possibly catching a cornerback like Kool-Aid McKinstry, other than the big names that are inside of there, inside of the first round maybe for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But I really think the Pittsburgh Steelers in the first 2 rounds of the draft are going to address either cornerback, center, or tackle. I've said that many times on the channel, and I really think that there is a good chance that the Pittsburgh Steelers could see Jackson Powers-Johnson or a good cornerback or one of those good tackles be there available in the first round, and that will really fill a significant hole for the Pittsburgh Steelers, no matter how you slice it. And I don't think that there's a way that we could even get mad at any of those picks. I see some people having the Steelers mocked in the first round, getting Mims, the right tackle, and I think that would be an excellent fit. What if Jackson Powers-Johnson falls to them? That would be an excellent fit. He would be a monster, and I think he would really contribute and play Steeler-type football. What if you got a guy like a Quinion Mitchell or somebody like that inside of the first round at cornerback to match up with Joey Porter Jr.? You couldn't be mad at any of those picks, and the Steelers do have options. They have paths to take, and maybe that is a bad thing in some ways, because that's a lot of holes on the team. Maybe some people think of it that way, but I think of it as opportunity for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I think they can really rise to the occasion here and grab a key contributor for many years to come inside of this first round, and they can go in several directions, which makes the selection process a little bit easier, because you can still take the best player available on the board and still feel a need. So it's going to be a win for Omar Khan, and he should get an A+ grade in that first round. I don't see how he can go wrong there. I don't see how he can make any type of real blunder. But perhaps they don't get that center in the first round. Say they do get Mims, the right tackle. What do they do in the second round? Do they package a deal together to trade up, even with the Carolina Panthers, who would be making their first selection in the first round on day 2? Our first selection of the whole draft, rather, on day 2 with the first pick of round 2. Do you put a package together to give them some more draft capital in order to take that first pick of the second round? Would you be reaching if you went after a cornerback or a center there if you got the right tackle in the first round with your 20th overall selection? I don't think so. You have 2 fourth-round picks. You could couple that together and give one of those away, 119 or 120, and try to make a move to get up into the top parts of the second round. And I think it can be done, and I think Omar Khan has the ability to do that. And when you're looking at this Pittsburgh Steelers roster and the holes that are on there, you can't go wrong if you're making moves to fill holes here, because there are so many. And you're still going to probably be taking, like I said, one of the better players available on the board. So you're still keeping that philosophy of the Pittsburgh Steelers as they typically like to do throughout the draft. But these are the paths that I think they're going to take, guys. This is my prediction, and I think this is how it's going to go. I say they're going to take a first-round right tackle with pick number 20. I think one of the elite guys are going to fall to them there. I think the center may be gone because there are center-needy teams ahead of them, several. So I think the Pittsburgh Steelers find that right tackle answer in the first round of the draft with the 2020 or the 20th overall pick in the 2024 draft. Then I believe the Pittsburgh Steelers find a way to weasel their way up into the second round a little bit farther. They're at pick 51. I feel like they're going to get up into the high 30s or early 40s to where I think they're going to be able to gain their center option. And I think that's going to be Zach Frazier from the University of West Virginia. I think that's where that will be. This is how I think it's going to play out. I think that's where they will go. I think tackle, center, and then I think they're going to try to find maybe a little bit of depth at the defensive tackle spot, or if there's still a decent cornerback still remaining after that. But I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are definitely going to take those first two picks and secure positions that are going to ensure that their quarterback is protected for 2024 and kind of lean on some of the free agency market players to fill out the rest of that defense. And possibly if they get lucky and one of the elite guys at corner fall to them, they pick that up. But I think the Steelers will start to move toward depth pieces and start to try to take the place of some of the older players on the team as they move throughout the draft. And I do think they're going to take a quarterback in round 6 or 7. I do think that that's going to happen. There are guys out there, Milton, Carter Bradley, Spencer Rattler may be a mid-round pick. There are guys out there that they're going to be able to get later on inside of this draft, and I do think quarterback will be one of them, and that's how I think they fill out that third QB spot on the team. And I think Mason Rudolph does make a return to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I want you to continue to watch. You're going to start to see some releases here. Now that we've hit Wednesday, you're going to start to see some cap space being opened up by the Pittsburgh Steelers here at the end of this week to be able to go into free agency with a couple bucks to spend. And you're going to see it, and you're going to see it happen soon. So keep an eye out at players like Allen Robinson, players that hold a heavy cap hit to maybe extend and restructure their deal to alleviate some of that cap money. So exciting times here ahead of the Pittsburgh Steelers as they face the 2024 free agency period and the NFL draft. So guys, don't forget to join us at 6:45, maybe closer to 7, just depending on when Sean gets back home. We'll jump on here for Steel City Live, only on Mic Drop Sports, and we will have a great show. Sorry again that we missed yesterday. Started having a little bit of chest pain, things of that nature, but we got fixed up a little bit, so we're ready to roll. So we're going to try to figure that situation out. Got some testing maybe down the road, all that kind of stuff. But we'll try to get that figured out. Thank you for all the well wishes that was put onto the community page through comments and things of that nature. Really, truly appreciate it. I appreciate you guys for understanding. Sometimes life happens. We may miss a day here or there, but we're going to continue to march forward. And maybe one day we'll have guys that we'll be able to fill in and things of that nature. Maybe we'll get to that level one day. But fingers crossed. You never know. That way you guys don't miss out on a day of content. So till tonight at 6:30 or 6:45 to 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time here on the channel for Steel City Live. I'm Jason. This is Mic Drop Sports. Peace.